Meghan, Harry, the Queen, and more importantly, Lilibet. What is the true story? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, back in Kensington Gardens today. You know, I was just thinking actually when we were coming to set up out here, it's strange, isn't it, when you come back after a few days, you know, when there've been such spectacular events and thousands of people lining the streets, and then you walk back outside, say, Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace, it's still busy, but it's a lot quieter, and you kind of think, moments in history, as I often say here on the show, am I right? It's sort of moments, isn't it, where you look and think, where did all those people go? Where do they live? That sort of stuff. I know I often say this, but is it just me? Do you think things like that? It was such a spectacular event over the last weekend, and you know, London was thronging with people. Still very busy now, of course, but when you are outside the place that was, you know, the sort of focus on so much world domination, everybody in the world was tuning in to see some elements of our Platinum Jubilee celebrations, and you come back and you think, nobody here, just me. Better get on with the latest breaking royal story then. The story all really centres on the ongoing, as one can imagine, furore of about that beautiful picture of course, the daughter of Meghan and Harry, Lilibet. You know, I thought it was a wonderful picture. Some cruel remarks online when you think, you know, as I said here on the show yesterday, it really is, you know, remember, it's a child, you know, and the child does look beautiful. I mean, whichever way you look at it, it's a nice crystal clear picture. And of course, you get to see some elements of, you know, what they're going to look like when they're older. I think with all baby pictures, though, you know, people coo and ah, don't they? But none of us really like our early pictures. When you look back, you think, really, is that me? Really? And of course, I'm sure Lily Diana is bound to grow into a very beautiful young lady at some point, you know, as all girls do. All girls are beautiful. As Maurice Chevalier said, thank heaven for little girls. Yes, I love that song, by the way. But this particular story, on a more serious note, is really all about what really went on behind the scenes. Did Her Majesty meet with Meghan and Harry? Was a picture taken, etc.? Now, as ever, we like to bring you the inside scoop, you know, what we find out truly, not through gossip and stuff like that. We make contact with the relevant people. And here's what I've been able to find out and establish for you so far. Now, what we do know is, yes, there was a meeting, finally, between Our Gracious Majesty the Queen, Meghan, Harry, and of course the two children that Harry and Meghan brought over, Archie and Lily. Now, there's a big debate about, well, was there a picture, wasn't there a picture? Well, normally what happens on a situation like this is, there normally is some kind of official photographer always on standby within the royal palaces, particularly if the Queen is meeting someone of importance. But as this was a private family meeting, you know, a very pared down meeting, then there was no picture taken, according to that good source. Now, there could have been a private picture taken, not by the official photographer, but perhaps who was ever escorting Her Majesty the Queen to re-meet with Harry and Meghan after so long. You know, I know that they came over just ahead of the Invictus Games, but this must have been a rather tense meeting, you know, the first time for the Queen to meet both of the children of course, her grandson. But what truly happened was this: there was just the one meeting. You know, there are certain royal commentators out there claiming it was a back and forth and they were seeing each other all the time. Absolute nonsense. Her Majesty the Queen really was resting up, as we know, because she found quite a lot of the things rather tiring, slight discomfort, you know. So there's no way that she's going to be zipping back and forth in the golf cart going over to Frogmore Cottage, or indeed Harry and Meghan going over to Windsor Castle. It just doesn't work like that, you know. And I think what's interesting is the way people try and spin these stories up. What we can tell you is simply this: one meeting, no picture. And did Harry and Meghan request a picture? Well, I'm sure they may have done in their own capacity, but you know, even Harry would know that this wouldn't be royal protocol. It's simply not the thing to do. And given the, shall we say, rather fractious situation between Harry, Meghan and the rest of the senior royals, then of course there would be no way anyone would agree to that. Because of course one picture in the wrong hands can of course create headlines and interest around the world. And if there's one thing Our Gracious Majesty the Queen has learned over 70 savvy years on the throne, it is, of course, making sure that one is self-protected. And as Harry famously said, he was checking in with the Queen to see if she had the right people around her. Well, it appears on this particular day, she certainly did. No need to worry, Harry and Meghan. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.